Good morning, fiber friends. It is the beginning of October, the height of maker season, and I wanted to jump on and tell you all about what I've been working on and what I have finished. So much. I just want to cast on all the projects and knit everything. I have quite a lot of projects in progress right now, but not feeling too stressed about it because I'm not putting any deadlines on myself to get things done. But it's been a minute since I came on because I went through a little bit of a knitting lull, as we all do probably. And I would say the spring, summer, there was a little bit of a lull, and I wondered if I had lost some of my mojo, but it came back with a vengeance, and it is here to stay, I'm sure, for at least the rest of the fall, and looking forward to knitting in the winter. So many things. So start by talking about what I'm wearing. This is the Alpenglow sweater by Andrea Mowry. It was the Rhinebeck sweater 2 years ago when I went to Rhinebeck and I met Andrea Mowry, and that was really fun. Right here, where is it? Right here, I have the Rhinebeck sweater for last year. I did not go to meet Andrea Mowry. She was there. I can't remember. I had some family event or something. I couldn't go. But that's the tessellated vest. I did it in, I think it was Primrose Yarn Company's, like a hunter green color. A little hard to see right now with the sun. And the lighting in here in my studio. I'm kind of hiding in the corner because the rest of the studio is awash in natural light, which is awesome, but kind of blinding if you're sitting right in it, looking at the camera. So yeah, so I can start with a finished project I'd like to share. We went to the Caribbean, somewhere warm, in the summer, and it's, for me, very dependent on the weather and the season, what I want to knit. So if I am somewhere warm and tropical, let's say, I don't want to knit on something green and brown, and those are very New England fall colors. So I had purchased some, I know what this is. This is a Homespun House. They're one of their Patreon colorways. I knit a pair of socks for my daughter. This is, I think this purple contrast color is called Jello, and I don't know the name of this one, but this is like a highly speckled pink. And I used a contrasting turquoise yarn for the heel. This was also a Homespun House Patreon mini, this turquoise color, but this was from a while ago. I had it in my stash. But if you're interested in socks, I can't think, it's by far and away my absolute favorite sock yarn is from a Homespun House. Just whatever they do in a fingering sock weight is so soft, and the colors, I mean, the speckles are just so fun to knit. I can't say enough good things about their sock yarn. So I just decided to purchase their 4 Sundays of Advent sock set for Christmas. So I guess it will ship in November, and then in December I'll have 4 sock sets for Christmas ways to open. Those are probably all sold out right now, but if you do subscribe to her Patreon, there's an optional tier for sock sets. So she'll send you a sock set every month, and you won't know what it is. It will be a surprise, but it's seasonal. I mean, it always goes with the seasons. This month's was a really fun, spooky colorway for October. I didn't purchase it, but she showed it on her Patreon, and it's just, if you're interested in socks, a Homespun House is the way to go, and specifically her Patreon subscription is so fun. I am a very, very loyal fan of everything that she does over at a Homespun House. And since we're on the topic of homespun house, I will talk about something that I also got from a homespun house. This is not a finished object, but an acquisition. I'm gonna see if I can hold these fun guys up all together. Where are they? Ready? Boop. I dropped it. See if I can pick these up. Oh, I have to pick these up. These are amazing colors. Okay. So if you can see this gorgeousness, I mean, these colors are so amazing. Amazing. I'm just obsessed. This is what brings me joy in life, are these colors. I mean, Okay, so what these are is she has this subscription. No, it's not a subscription. It's just monthly minis. That's what that's called. So these are the monthly minis joy. The joy of monthly minis from a homespun house. Oh, all the colors she makes are so incredible. So what that is for is primarily in my life for blanket making. So I'm going to make a Cozy Memories blanket. So this is fingering weight yarn. And the Cozy Memories blanket is a mitered square blanket. So it's like, let's say it's 40 stitches by 40 stitches fingering weight in a square, and they all, are attached. So each square is one color. I mean, everything she does it's just, every colorway is amazing. I mean, she has such an eye for color, and that's why, I'm so obsessed with knitting, is because of playing with color. There are some very well-known, accomplished, wonderful knitters that aren't motivated by color. They're motivated more so by the stitch pattern, by construction methods, and that's what gets them excited. And I do enjoy a good stitch pattern and construction methods. I find it all fascinating. But what just gets me so excited to spend all my time knitting is color. And specifically a homespun house. I'm not a yarn dyer, so I cannot get pots and dye and create this. It's just not my skill set. I don't think it's something in my future. I don't see myself being a yarn dyer. My grandmother was a yarn dyer. This rug that she made here, she dyed all the colors for it. Let's see, I have some other things that she's dyed. All of this work is my grandmother's, and all of that she dyes for. Let's see, she has, can I show you that? She has this is like a self-portrait up here that she did. Wait, my finger, show you? How can I do that? Up right there. She dyed all the yarn for that. It seems like it's hard to predict. It takes so much experience. So if I get a pot, I get some undyed yarn and I put color on it, I just don't think I'm going to be able to create the result that I want. And it would be like quite a long time. I think that there's so much. So anyway, so I'd rather just knit all the stuff that amazing yarn dyers make. So since we're talking about fingering weight yarn, we're talking about socks, I can show you one of my current whips and another acquisition. And there's just so much to say because I haven't been on here in a while. So it seems like a lot, and I want to share all this wonderful stuff. So, okay, so this is a little bag from Madder Root, Maine. It has like a little clasp here. And what this is so awesome for is for walking and knitting. So I just put my wrist through here when I walk the dog or maybe take a hike. I will stop and do a little knitting. This is the size small bag from Madder Root, Maine. And it's perfect for just a sock project. So I'll show you the current socks that I have in my knitting bag. So this is a completed sock. This is also the tropical colors because when I went down to the Caribbean, I needed to make sure that I had extra in case I finished my daughter's socks. I didn't want to be without something tropical to knit on because the other stuff I'm working on is very winter, and that would have been just no fun whatsoever. So when you're going on vacation, sock projects are so portable. You can get the colors. You could get some colors that are, you know, predictive of where you're of a place you're going, so that let's say you're going to Scotland and it's really rainy, get some gray socks, but you get the idea. So this was fun, but I'm not really super inspired to be working on these right now because it's fall in New England where I am, and this just doesn't scream fall in New England. So I knit those in an emergency when I am running out the door and I want to bring something easy, something portable. I'll bring those, but when my Advent socks get here, it will be like in December, I'll be able to put some Christmassy socks in this bag and knit on those. Okay, so that's all socks for now. And let's see. Now we can move on to fall in New England and what screams fall in New England for knitters. Okay, so Rhinebeck is 2 weeks away, and this year Andrea Mary has an amazing sweater called Framed, and she's planning to be on the hill at Rhinebeck Sheep and Wool Festival at 2 o'clock on the Saturday, which is I think October 19th. So that's about 2 weeks away. And so I have my work cut out for me if I'm gonna go. I'm on the fence about, I signed up and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to go to Rhinebeck, but hoping. Okay, so let's assume I'm going to go to Rhinebeck this year. I'm planning to knit the framed sweater, but I did it differently than it is designed. So okay, so here is the pattern. Ta-da. Cool, really cool. She has got some, it's a motif taken from traditional American, I suppose it's American, quilting, and she's used that motif and she's put it on a stranded colorwork design, which is stunning. And then it has this border on the cuffs and the top, and she says that's why it's called framed, because this motif and this color work is framed by this solid color here. And there's ribbing across the shoulders, the hem, and the cuffs with 3/4 length balloon sleeves. So the one thing about this sweater is I thought the motif might be a little bit busy for my style. So I wanted to see if I could take this square and make just one motif and blow it up. So that's what I've done. Excuse me. Okay, so this is my version of the frame sweater so far. So Andrea Mowry's version is in the round stranded colorwork. I decided to do the body, the front and back, with intarsia, knitting it in pieces. So this is the front of my sweater. Will sit like this on me, and you can see I did the contrasting hem the same. So I've really stuck to all of her stitch counts are all the same in terms of the measurements, the ease. I used the Spin Cycle yarns, which is one of the recommended yarns in the pattern, which is this green, I'm just looking to tell you the name of the colorway I chose. Deep Bump. This is a Deep Bump colorway. So that's what I've used. And then I switched the other two yarns. So she had recommended a Farmer's Daughter Fibers, I believe, worsted weight yarn. And I chose this yarn called Moda, M-O-T-A. And this is a yarn created in Spain This was yarn, I believe, was introduced at a craft fair this year or last year. So some of the knitting shops have picked this up. So this is a new-ish yarn to, I think, most American knitters. And it is a woolen spun worsted weight yarn. It is reminiscent to me of Shelter. If you have ever knit with Shelter, I have some Shelter. This is Shelter. It's similar. Shelter is a little more soapy. I think Shelter is Targhee, and this sheep, and this is Manchega. It says Lana Marina entre fina y Manchega, which means wool, a merino wool. Yeah, extra fine merino wool and Manchega. That is the blend of this yarn. So unlike Shelter, which is Targhee, this is merino and Manchega. So obviously we're all pretty familiar with merino, but the Manchega is probably new to most people. Manchega is funny because Manchego is a very good Spanish cheese, but I guess if you add an A, it's a type of sheep. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, that's really cool. Okay, I think it just clued into me. Okay, so this, okay, yes. Let me see if I could translate my epiphany, which isn't that profound, but it's interesting to me, into some simple words. So this must be the yarn that is produced from the same sheep, the Spanish sheep that gives us the Manchego cheese. So you get Manchego cheese and the yarn is the Manchega. So the same animal is giving the Spanish people the cheese and the wool. That's pretty amazing. Okay. All right. So this is no, I want to say intralac, but it's not. It's intarsia. So I can't do this design with stranded color work because the floats would be extremely long. So this is intarsia knit flat. You can knit intarsia in the round, but it's more complicated and I don't need to do that. I didn't need to. So I'm going to show you the back because this is what it looks like in the back. Each of these segments has to be its own ball of yarn or butterfly. So you create these little butterflies. And this is a butterfly right here, a second butterfly, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So you have 7 little balls of yarn knit off the back that, you know, hang off the back, but it's not hard. Intarsia is really not any harder than stranded color work. It's different, not hard. And then this is the negative image of this. So you see, I took Andrea Mowry's, which is what Andrea did in her pattern as well, is she has the image of this quilt square. See, this is a black star with a green border, and then this is a green star with a black border. And this will be the back of my image, and this will be the front of my sweater, I mean. So you put those two together, knit up got about a couple inches more to go just the yoke, and then I'll start the shoulder ribbing in this yellow color. So do I have a lot of work left on this to finish in 2 weeks before Rhinebeck? I do, but I can do it. It is a worsted weight yarn, so it knits up very quickly. And I can finish. I said I wasn't giving myself any deadlines, but I want to finish before Rhinebeck. Okay. So that'll be really cool. And then I'll do the sleeves the exact same way that they're written. Option A is to do the sleeves exactly as they're written with stranded color work. I think that would look very cool with the intarsia motif on the front. The other option is to just do this as a vest. And now as I'm speaking now, maybe what I'll do is do it as a vest if I don't finish. And then when I get home, I could unpick the ribbing and add the sleeves when I have lots of time this winter. Might do that. Although if I am meeting Andrea, I kind of want her to see this with the sleeves. See it all done. We'll see. Okay, so that's that. Another work in progress, which is getting neglected because I'm working on Rhinebeck stuff, is this. This is the, I want to say throwaway. It's not the throwaway. It's the throwback. The Throwback Cardi, also by Andrea Mowry. This is really fun. This hunter green color with the purple contrast. This is knit in Brooklyn Tweed Shelter. And this is Spin Cycle yarn. Now, you can see that the value of this purple is not a perfect choice. It's kind of blending in with the green. So the value between this, the value of this purple and the value of this green is too similar. So that was a poor choice, but we're gonna just move on with it because I've purchased so many different contrasting colors to see what would work. And I redid this yoke a few times. So that was actually a hard experience, you know, not too hard, but a little bit of challenge to find 3 Spin Cycle colors that all have worked well together and that also had high contrast value with this shelter behind. So I feel like I've learned a lot through this process, and next time maybe I'll choose more wisely. But boop, boop, it'll be really fun. It's also gonna be smaller, I think, for me than I really had wanted. But it's not, the pattern itself is not written with a ton of ease, and I chose a smaller size. I don't remember why. So it's a little bit on the smaller side, but that's fine. And that will get some love after this, after the Rhinebeck sweater's done. Okay, so moving on. Moving in a totally different direction. I am started teaching at a local farm, teaching knitting at a local farm near my house, just to share my passion for knitting with more people and introduce more people to the craft, because it's just such a wonderful craft and has so many benefits for mental health and all kinds of things. So for my first class, I taught the students how to make a little hand warmers and a cowl. I don't have those things here with me right now, or I would share them, but my next class is coming up and I wanted to take it to the next level. And so I'm offering a shawl class, and I'm offering where I'm teaching the Targety shawl by Melanie Berg. And I'm going to hold up my, I've shown this on here before, but this is my version, the first version I did, a 2-color shawl by by Magpie Fibers. That is who created the colorways. So I gave my students the link to purchase the yarn from Hedgehog Fibers, because that is the yarn that's recommended in the pattern. And I want to do another version knitting along with my students. And so I didn't want to buy yarn because I've already been buying lots of yarn and lots of things. I don't need to buy it. I need to go into my stash. So I first thought I would do Deep Bump because I liked it a lot. I thought I would do a single colorway. And I started knitting with Deep Bump, and this is a worsted weight yarn, and the pattern calls for fingering, so I'm not sure what I was thinking, but I don't care for this at all with this pattern, and the reason is, one, it's not the right weight of yarn, so that's not going to work, and also it is not a color I would wear. So with a shawl, I really I don't knit too many shawls, so I want to make sure that it's a colorway that I would wear a lot. So for instance, if it's gonna be a shawl that I wear in the spring and summer, it would be light colors. And if it's something I'm gonna wear in the fall and winter, it would be dark colors. But I went stash diving and I decided to knit it in white. I have this fingering weight yarn. This is an alpaca, so it'll be super drapey, and I'm holding it double with a mohair. So this is really gonna be a fingering weight. And it's really great. I really, really love the look of stockinette fabric on with a white yarn. So I'm excited for that, to teach that and to knit that along with my students. And that's really it. That's all I wanted to share. That's a lot. I got through everything. I hope that you are all enjoying your making. I would love to see what you're making. I would love to know what depillers that you all are using. This sweater needs to be depilled and I don't have a depiller. So I wanted to see what people use and what they recommend and how they do it. So if you have some recommendations for me, that would be great. And yeah, leave me a comment. Let me know if you're going to Rhinebeck, if you're working on a Rhinebeck sweater, if you're have some patterns that you're working on that you want to share that you're just loving. I would love to hear. And yeah, go check out Homespun House, get some minis, make a blanket with me. Let's make this cozy memories blanket together. I mean, yay, yay. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.